All right, last P. And by now, I hope that you went and bought the book or downloaded the book. It is an ebook right now. But this final P is the P of the parent. It's the parent. And for the life of me, and I got this, God gave me this download because I was asking him, I want to be a solid dude in the earth, man. Like, I want to represent you well. And I don't want to be out here looking like some of the bad examples. And I don't know all the time if I'm on the right track. And I was missing this P, but it's the answer to my question that I just posed, right? And I had all the other ones for years, and I finally matured to the point to understand that every man is called to be a parent. Jesus, on his last command, the Great Commission is to go and make disciples of all nations. Make disciples. So in a man's heart, the things that we experience, the things that we know are really for others. And when we take on that role as a parent, not just to our children, go be fruitful and multiply, fellas. Leave your legacy, leave your last name. I get that. But it ain't just making babies. You know, we used to have this saying in our house, you know, back in the days in the hood, guy was a good dad, or he considered himself a good dad if he came by on the birthday. And this slang term, we call it dropping off J's. He not present necessarily, but shorty fresh, right? And that's a big thing. And for many years, we felt like that, but that's not parenting, and it's not none of the other stuff. As a matter of fact, it's the other thing. And so when we talk about parenting, we're talking about reconnecting to the way God loves us and then pouring that love out on others. And that's through patience. That's through listening. Again, going back to the stuff. But ultimately, it's about being intentional with the things that you're pouring into those that you lead, with those that are in your community, your family, whatever it may be. Intentionality. I send my children a Bible verse every morning. I am intentionally walk them through a 21-week Manhood Bible series because I just want them to be able to get the download, and now we got content that we could talk about for the rest of their life. Hey, you remember when I showed you that thing? You remember that spiritual law? You remember that? So I can really begin to parent. And so another part of parenting is there are other men right around you that need help. There are younger men that you 20 years ahead of, and you remember when you was 20 years old and all the mistakes you made. Some of you football coaches out there, man, shout out to y'all, because y'all really are some of the best men that we have, especially in the African American community, in our society. The dedication, and when you get a good coach, man, he really love you. And I can remember I had Coach Chin. I played at North Dade, and I played linebacker, middle linebacker, 80 pound for Coach Chin. And I remember we was going to Daytona, and my mom was working, and I mentioned it to him that I needed a ride, right? And I think he just kind of noted it. And I was a shorty, 7, 8, 9 years old, whatever it was. And I wanted to get to the bus on time, but my mom ended up making the arrangements to take me, right? So it was cool. She adjusted the job. Like, oh, okay, mom could take me. So I'm a kid, though. We can't text in those days. You can't even call. It's just not even a thing. But I went, got on the bus. Coach Chin was late. So we like, well, we got to get well, Coach Chin. Ready to get going. We all kids. We rambunctious. We going to Daytona for the Nationals, all that kind of stuff. I know a lot of y'all can relate to that. Y'all been on these trips, right? But Coach Chin comes on the bus. Where Poppy? Where Poppy? Where Poppy? He wanted to make sure I was there. He had gone all the way to my house to pick me up, but he wanted to make sure I didn't get left. And I'm going to tell you, man, shout out to the coaches that play parents to so many, man. A lot of guys, would not have, a lot of guys didn't make it, and you still tried. But for the guys that did make it out of the neighborhood, for the guys that did become significant and make a success, I want to say shout out to the coaches out there, because I honestly believe, that is one of the best God-given parent roles in our generation, especially with our adoration around sports and athletics, especially from the youth coming up. And in Miami, it's a big deal. So shout out to you coaches. And I think they do the best job because, again, in the trenches with you every day. I remember if I came soft on a tackle, coach make you line back up and do it right. This is all stuff that needs to happen at home. That's all. And God is waiting on us to accept the role of coach and parent in the lives of course, in our immediate surroundings, but definitely in the external environment that we are called to dominate, subdue, and replenish, and all of that good stuff that God originally gave Adam to do. And so the way to do that is use a phrase that I used when I was working with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is like, we here to make disciples who make disciples. So we don't want you just to get all the water. We call that the Dead Sea. Everything comes in and nothing goes out. This is really about you knowing that it didn't come from you, and you knowing the next generation needs it. So older men, we need y'all. That's perspective. Middle-aged men, you name it. Young men, be ready and open to receive coaching and parenting, you name it. But have a heart, because it doesn't take a lot to be a parent other than love and concern and intentionality. And I use the football coach reference because I believe that's going to connect the most with what we're trying to describe, because I've been cussed out by some of my coaches, but I've always seen it in love, except for when it wasn't, by the way. Sometimes it wasn't. I just gotta admit that. But for the most part, they was fussing because they loved me. They was correcting me because they wanted me to be better. And my uncle was really big on this too, and I'll close with him in this piece because he's really the father figure again for me. So he's an extended parent of mine that allowed me to learn and watch and hear and do, even though I wasn't necessarily raised in his home. And so it's obvious we need to coach our kids, right? But every man is a coach. Every man is a coach. And his team is growing throughout life. And if you look at it that way, we'll begin to build community, and we'll have a mutual respect. And the last thing I'll say is our hearts will be open to get checked too. If we all supposed to be good coaches. It's like when we play ball, we know what we're supposed to do. And so if you was out there fussing with your teammates and making excuses, we can't depend on you. But when you say my bad and you get it better and you keep it moving forward, then you could be trusted and relied on. And so that was the ultimate thing that I wanted to share with you guys today. And that's the 5 P's of Manhood. Again, Amazon Kindle. Grab the book, download it, share it, give it to your pastor too. I'd love to come and share with your group. Thank y'all. See y'all soon.